We will now have the acknowledgements of those honorable citizens.
Well, I'd like to just thank everyone once again for coming. Our number turned out to be much more than we expected. So if there was a slight problem with the accommodations because they weren't prepared to feed the audience around as we had. But I praise the Lord for everyone that's here tonight. And what I want to do is just stand and give a little recognition, honor where honor is due, for some of those people who have really stood out in my eyesight and have really been a help in the choir and to the choir. And sometimes we run into trouble with these things. I believe in the Lord that if someone hasn't received an award or whatever tonight, that it won't be charged to my heart. Because everyone deserves recognition. Most of all, I'd rather really get my awards in heaven, because if we lay up these treasures down here on earth, they're just going to eat up our words. And if we just do our labor, our words, with the choir, with anything we do for the Lord, as unto the Lord, then we have our reward. Great is our reward in heaven. Anything man can give you, because the certificate won't last very long. Amen. You get burned up in the house fire, it doesn't matter. Praise God. Anyway, what I'm going to do is go right along. When I call your name, you can just come right up to the front. It's just a small area here, so it's not very much room. But you can just come right up and receive this little recognition that I have for you. We've got a person that's been very blessed to the choir. This young man has opened his doors to the Richlands Mass Choir, that we might be able to rehearse in the church that we do, because the choir has really been through a lot. We've been put out in a couple of churches before, and it's just, it was a statement. But I bless the Lord anyway that this man has really opened his doors, and he says that he feels any time that young people can really come together and do a work for the Lord, and such as what we try to do and desire to do, then his doors are always stand open. And that is Reverend W.C. Elliott, Master of Gospel. Awarded to the person's name, Reverend W.C. Elliott, in appreciation of devoted and valuable services rendered to the Richlands Community Mass Choir, dated this 3rd day of August, 1991. I'm not the president. Now, we also have two beautiful young ladies that have really helped out with this portion of our choir. This is the reunion, getting together in different areas, being there when I can't be there, making the local calls that keeps me from making the long distance calls, and seeing to it that the people in the area are having their monies paid up, and then they're FedExing me stuff on the job and calling me, asking me, can one more come in, and stuff like that. It really is a hard job to undertake. It is not easy. You know how we are. It's not easy dealing with us. But I thank God for these two young ladies, Lori Carter and Deidre King. These are two beautiful administrators, and that is one of the gifts of the church, to have administrators. And I must say they are very capable. They've been supported by two very tangible young men. Lori is the area representative for Maryland, Salisbury area, and Minister J.W. Keller has been in her back corner, as well as our own Minister Darrell Williams, who can help in Deidre King, who's the coordinator for the Atlanta chapter. And I just congratulations. This little recognition is for a young man who's responsible for just about anything that you can read or see in print. It's a very hard job to get these things to look as good as they do. It came with a lot of hard work. I basically give this young man a rough draft. He takes it to his job, he puts it in the computer. He brings it by my job, when we work like a couple of blocks apart. He'll bring it to my job, the receptionist will say, you have a package? I do some little editing on it. He takes it back. Sometimes things are edited 4 and 5 times before they ever come in print. And it really takes a lot to stay after your job. If we work 8 hours, stay till 11 at night, working on programs and flyers. And he's also put personal money into these things and didn't want anything for it. And I think he deserves recognition. But for him, it was me. Certificates for those who are 2 young men who are members of the Richlands chapter of the Richlands Community Mass Choir, who have served as musicians. They've been there basically from the very beginning, and they are here yet today. We've had our keyboardists come in and go out, and I thank God for these 2 young men because they're here, they're faithful, they're very blessed musicians. Brother Tim Elliott and Brother Wendell Scott. Yeah. To walk along the edge. Amen. Just a second to give some recognition to 2 outstanding young women who have been superb to the Richlands Mass Choir. One of these ladies has run around with us. We were yet in the full ministry when I was living here in Richlands, and she would just go to as many services as she could. I believe she served as an usher one of those times in one of our services. She gave birth to a beautiful officer in our choir. Also, she's been there helping get chairs to our community building, cooking food for us. She's never signed any kind of role, has never been asked to do these things. She just volunteers her services. And I want to give special recognition to this plaque reads, presented to Arlene Hardrow for outstanding. Another presentation to make at the same time to another young lady who's been outstanding in helping the Richlands Community Mass Choir from the very beginning. There were times, well, I remember the choir being formed, getting together in June of, I believe it was, count 5 years back. And the choir had just gotten together with enough time to learn about 6 or 7 songs, and we had a concert in August of that same year as sort of a kickoff and fundraiser to establish ourselves financially. And even at that time, there was one who was willing to put her money down on the line and purchase a TV for one of the gifts that we were given for raffle donations that we were giving out at that time. as well as when the choir was in need of a keyboard and nowhere we could turn to, the choir couldn't get into the account of credit without it being an established church. She cleared one of those Visa accounts and enabled us to put that thing on it, and the choir was not very old. Basically, she just went on my word that we would make payments on the account until it was paid, and I believe that keyboard ran us a good $1,000 or $2. She's just really been a blessing, selling tickets for us here and there, helping us out, you know, in any way that she can. She's allowed us to rent a very fine camcorder tonight. We might have our video tape tonight. And this person is no other than my grandmother, my mother's mother, Olivia Johnson. All right. Presented to Olivia Johnson for outstanding patronage in the Richmond Community Mass Choir on August 3rd, 1999. I want to give special tribute and honor to 3 people who have been very good and just been excellent in their capacity in helping with the music. In the Richlands Community Mass Choir, not in the way of being a musician, but playing the voice that we so importantly do. As you all know from today, we really had a thorough workout today. These 3 people have helped me traveling up and down the road, coming to our rehearsals, learning songs there in my house. One of them doesn't live there in the city where I am now, but she helps out and does what she can when she can. While I was here, they were just very faithful in their calling. These are the section leaders, soprano, alto, and tenor, and that's Sister Melissa Stevens. We have a good relationship, whereas we know we're not perfect, but what we do is we get together, we learn the music, they help me out, and we go into sections and take a lot of work off my hands, and they're just really outstanding people. And I that's the transition after 5 years of faithful service. These people have been so fun to work with. It's really hard to come by some very dedicated, beautiful people that have the gifts, the administrative gifts, and also have the spirit to go along with it, whereby you can work together. Thank God for these people because they're just outstanding. I look and look, and I don't think there are very many officers like these people, and I just want to let them know I love them tonight, and I appreciate their hard work, and they're asking me to give them more to do, and I will certainly do that. This award is presented to Jackie Thompson for 5 years. This one presents to Jeanette Humphrey. You really have to have some trustworthy, anointed, Holy Ghost filled oil to deal with that money. President, who seems to be a silent person, but she's really dedicated and faithful. She's just a blessing to work with. She has ideas. She's very helpful. Yet, she doesn't seem like, well, you're trying to run the show. And she just, I feel her support there all the time. And I just thank God for her because I appreciate her being much older than me. She has a lot of wisdom. And that way, it really works very good together. This award reads, presented to Esther Sanders. All of you who are registered Navy members, you know that you are members indeed of the Richlands Community Mass Choir. I thank you so much for your participation thus far. And at this time, I'm going to turn the service back into the hands of our